Hey, City Center Baptist Church family, it's Pastor Brad coming to you from DDQ headquarters. Digging Deeper question number 3 this week asks, twice in this text, verses 8 and 13, the readers are warned of possessing hard hearts. From this text, what contributes to hardened hearts that we must beware? Hard hearts. Just saying these two words in the same sentence seems dissonant. They should not be side to side. Hearts should be soft, malleable, and tender. Hearts are living organs and exist to keep a human body functioning optimally. Hard things are impenetrable, harsh, and immovable. This should never be true of a human heart. But sadly, history tells us the condition isn't uncommon. And at various times, all of us must confess to having hard hearts. Sometimes it's due to our pride, or our stubbornness, or just through willful disobedience. Our hearts, the center of our beings, can become calloused. This is a tragic reality. Our text of Hebrews 3, 7-13 points out this real danger. In verse 8, the hardness is active, meaning the people referred to in the Psalm 95 quote were willfully deciding to rebel against the Lord. The story behind the quote comes from Exodus 17, 1-7. The people of Israel had witnessed the plagues that befell Egypt, paving the way for them to leave their life of slavery and journey to freedom in the Promised Land. Despite seeing all the miracles God had performed, including the plagues and the parting of the Red Sea, the people complained in the wilderness when they ran out of water. They could have petitioned Moses and the Lord, trusting God to meet their need. Instead, they questioned whether God was truly among them. They tested God and demanded water. They repeated this kind of self-entitled attitude at least 10 times during their wilderness wanderings. Finally, God had had enough, especially following the refusal to cross the Jordan River after hearing the bad report of the land given by the 10 spies. The Lord decided the entire generation 20 years and older who had exited Egypt would die in the wilderness without entering the Promised Land, all due to their stubborn, rebellious, wicked, hard hearts. They had chosen poorly and finally faced the consequences. In verse 13, the warning for hard hearts is passive, indicating that another force was in action on the people. In this case, it was the deceitfulness of sin. The people were falling prey to the false promises of sin. Satan makes promises he never intends to keep. Sin looks good initially, but enslaves and destroys ultimately. So be on guard and don't be deceived. By way of example, we read of Pharaoh choosing to harden his heart and not let Israel go free in Exodus 9, verses 34-35. Later, Moses graphically warned the Israelites to circumcise their hearts and not be stubborn, even though that had been their track record. The old patterns needed to be discarded and the new embraced. And in Acts 19:9, we observe the Jews of Ephesus stubbornly persist in unbelief by deliberately maligning the Christian faith, resulting in Paul departing the synagogue and finding another place to proclaim Christ. The mixture of unbelief, stubbornness, and hard hearts are a spiritually deadly concoction to avoid. So the lesson for us is best to beware and take care to steer clear. Replace a hard heart with a humble heart. This has been Pastor Brad coming to you from DDQ headquarters.